Welcome to Wanna Be Clutter-Free, formerly Wanna Be Minimalist, the podcast for busy families who are tired of the chaos, fed up with being overwhelmed, and ready to enjoy life again. Each week, we talk about how to let go of the clutter so that you can focus on the things that actually matter. And it's not just physical clutter. We talk about the mental and emotional stuff too, because if it's holding you back, it's time to ditch it. I share what I've done in my own life to declutter, organize, and calm the chaos, but you won't just hear it from me. There are amazing guests too. It's practical, doable, and simple for those of us that want to be clutter-free. You're listening to the Wanna Be Minimalist Show with Deanna Yates, episode number 116. On today's episode, I am discussing my favorite way to declutter quickly. That's right, I'm going to talk about how to declutter any room in just 15 minutes. So stay tuned so we can whip our houses into shape. Hey there, my wannabe minimalist friend, and welcome back to the show. I am absolutely thrilled that you are here, and if you are returning, thank you for coming back. If this is your first time here, well, I'm excited to introduce myself to you and show you how we can just transform our homes in less time than we think. So today I want to talk about a topic that is near and dear to my heart, and because really none of us have time to do these big declutter sessions, right? And I know I have talked to so many people, and I know that this idea of having to drag everything out of your garage or everything out of your closet or having to pile everything into one big, massive, just mound really holds a lot of people back when it comes to decluttering their homes and getting this, the clean, the clutter-free home that they really want. I think we all know that when we have less stuff in our homes, it's easier to think. Like most of us do better when there is less stuff distracting us, less stuff to clean, less stuff to deal with. But the path to how to get there is really the hard part. Like so many times we think like, of course I want to do this. It's kind of like going on a diet, right? Of course I know that in order to lose weight, I'm going to have to eat better. I'm going to have to move my body. These are the basics. These are the mechanics we know. In order for us to have a clean, clutter-free house, I know I'm going to have to deal with my stuff. I know I'm going to have to get through it. But that doesn't mean we have to be on super restrictive diets. We don't have to go on these crazy binge fests like this grapefruit diet or there was like the cabbage diet one time when I was growing up. Let's not go there. All right. But we don't have to do these crazy things, right? So we don't have to do these big declutter sessions. We don't have to go 100% the other direction. We can make big, lasting changes in small increments, just like we can with our health when we eat better on a regular basis and we move a little bit each day. We can do that in our homes. So that is what I am super excited to talk about today, because this is my 15-minute down and dirty declutter session, and I'm going to be doing a challenge to go along with this. So make sure you stay tuned to the end because I'm going to talk about how you can jump in on this challenge, and I think it's going to be really fun. So I'm not going to do something that I don't think is going to be a lot of fun, right? Okay, I think that goes without saying. But anyway, it is going to be a lot of fun. And you're going to have a check-in with me every day. And so I'll tell you all of those details at the end of this. But let's get into kind of what this process is and just kind of why I love it so much. Well, this process, I'm going to call it the 15-minute declutter. And it has evolved over the past couple years when I have been decluttering my own stuff and going through my own house and just reading how other people are decluttering their things and what other people recommend. So this is just one of those things that I've kind of taken other people's ideas and processes and I've kind of put them through my own life filter. And this is kind of what's come out the other end. So hopefully you like it as much as I do. But the reason I love this method is because it makes it very easy to make progress. You don't have to do it all at once. You can get interrupted. It's gonna be okay. And it's okay. It fits with your life, right? It doesn't have to be, we don't have to have these perfect lives. We all live busy, chaotic, wonderful, exciting lives. And maybe they're not so exciting on every day, but there's a lot going on in our lives. And so we need something that is going to fit with how we live. And this is one that does it. It's short and sweet. We all have 15 minutes. It can fit into any schedule. I know there are different seasons of life that are way more chaotic than others. And there's going to be times in your life where you have less time, but 15 minutes is something that we can definitely squeeze in. And if you can't do 15 minutes, do do 5 minutes. And if you can't do 15 minutes every day, do it 4 times a week, 2 times a week. Heck, even just once a week, and you're going to make progress, okay? So it really can fit into any schedule. You can do this in the morning. You can do this at lunchtime. You can do it in the evening. You can do it after the kids go to bed. You can get everybody involved and do it together. This can be something you guys do on the weekends. This can be something you do after dinner. Like I talk about my power tidy, and this can be replacing that if, you really want to make progress in this area instead. So really, we all have 15 minutes. I want us to eliminate our excuses and really commit. If we want to do this, we want to commit. Now, I don't know if you know this about me. I have talked about it a few times, but probably not extensively. I used to be a personal trainer. That's right. I used to be the person that people would pay to make them work out. So I know what it's like to motivate someone and to have an accountability partner. And that is why I love this 15-minute declutter method, because you can just have this moment, right? This 15 minutes, and that's all you need to do. And it gives you one thing to do. It keeps you motivated. You're going to see progress. And so you're going to hear me do that kind of stuff a lot. I love to be someone's cheerleader. I love to root them on. I love to be in your corner. I want to do that for you. And so I'm going to encourage you to join us on this 15-minute declutter process, okay? It takes away that giant dread of a giant declutter and all the just that like stuff that kind of sits on your shoulders. It takes away the questions. It takes away that dread. And we're going to just do it, okay? So let personal trainer Deanna take you on this path, okay? Join me, okay? I want you to commit right now. Commit to the health of your house, which is going to help benefit your mental health, which really will benefit your physical health too. So there's a lot of correlations between people getting rid of their stuff and losing weight. So if that's something that you are into, heck, come along, right? It doesn't hurt. So here is how it works. Now that you know why it's important, you obviously know it's one of my favorites because I talk about it a lot lately. I want you to know how it works. Again, it's 15 minutes. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to choose one place to work on. Now, because it is a short amount of time, we're not going to be able to do the whole house in 15 minutes. This is not unrealistic expectations. We are dealing with our stuff, and our stuff is going to take a little bit of time, but it doesn't have to be a lot of time, and it doesn't have to be overwhelming. So you're going to choose one place. This one place could be a shelf. It could be a drawer. It could be the corner of a room. It could be one wall. It could be half of a room. It could be a whole room if you don't have a lot of stuff. I want you to start with one very specific place, and that is what you're going to work on for 15 solid minutes. You're going to take a before picture. That is the second step. Just like, I'm still going to continue to relate this to weight, okay? I apologize, but I think it's something that we all can understand. We've all seen before and after weight loss photos. We've all seen, this kind of before and after progress in that realm. So since it's something I am somewhat familiar with, I'm going to talk about that and kind of parlay them together, right? Lay them and work them in parallel. So take a before picture of your room, step back, take the picture, and actually you can examine it because we can get blind to the clutter that we see every day. And I want us to make sure that we are taking off those blinders and really looking at what other people see, because we can get used to it. And so humans have a way of doing that. We just adapt to the environments around us. And if we don't have a moment to step back and kind of look at it from an outsider's perspective, I'm not saying that this is something we're doing for other people. This is for us, but we can look at it with a different lens, right? So that is what this before picture allows us to do. Plus it allows us to show us how much we can do in 15 minutes, okay? This is why before and after pictures work on a weight loss journey as well, because you can see every day you're not seeing that big difference, but over time, within a week or 2 weeks or a month, you can start to see the progress, and that motivates you to keep going. And so that is what this is for. I'm not going to, lie and say that it's like some magic bullet, but it does keep you motivated, right? Okay. So you're going to take your before picture. Then you're going to gather your 3 supplies. Now that is the name of the game here, right? 15 minutes, 3 things. So that's what we're talking about today. You're going to have a trash bag, you're going to have a box, and you're going to have a laundry basket or some sort of basket that you can carry around, to put things away later, right? So let's talk about those 3 things. The trash bag. I think this one's pretty self-explanatory. Anything that is in fact garbage or no longer usable that you no longer want or use or love goes into this bag. Now, I used to say that it had to be a black garbage bag. And if you have them on hand, great, use those. It's good because you can't see into them and no one else, like no little prying eyes around your house can see into them. But if you only have the white garbage bags, just use that. It's going to be okay. Use what you got. Don't make an extra trip to the store. We're lowering the barrier of entry here. We want to make this as easy as possible. Trash bag, that's where all the stuff it's just not donatable. And think about the fact that you've used this thing enough that it is now garbage. So I know a lot of us get really concerned with the environmental impacts of throwing our things away. The best thing we can do is to buy less in the first place. So I want us to concentrate on that later. But right now we're getting the things out of our house so that we can take a deep breath and enjoy the space we live in. So let's let go of the guilt. Throw your guilt in that garbage bag as well, okay? So let go of the guilt, throw out the things that you have used up, and we'll move on. The next section is the box, and that can be any box. That can be the box your latest Amazon purchase came in. It can be a box your weekly CSA comes in. I use those boxes every week and I love it. You can use, just a shoe box, any box you have around the house. This is not a big deal. Again, lower that barrier of entry. Use anything you can. If you don't have a box, use another garbage bag. So we're going to just stop with excuses, okay? Use what you got. This one is for all of our donations. Now, the reason I love the box is because it's easy to pick up, it's easy to put in the car, and it's easy to drop off at the donation center. So that's why I recommend the box, but it really doesn't matter in the end. But let's make it simple. Trash bag, box, laundry basket. So anything you no longer want. Now, this could be something that if it's someone else's, make sure that they are ready to give it up as well. So we're really working on our own things. We'll talk about that in a second. But again, these are things that are in still good condition, but you don't love them and you don't use them. They go in the box and you're letting them go. Try to make quick decisions here because it is what it is. Okay. We don't want to really dwell on all this stuff. We only have 15 minutes, so let's try to be quick about it. The laundry basket. So that is where you're going to put anything that belongs in another room. And so if you come across something that belongs in your bedroom or something that you're working in the office and it belongs in the living room, or vice versa, you're working in the living room, belongs in the office, you're just going to go ahead and put it in that basket. And at the end, you're going to put it away. Talk about that in a minute. So those are the three things you need: trash bag, box, laundry basket. Now, the next thing to do is to set a timer and to get going. We all have phones these days. We all have smartphones. Just set your timer on your smartphone. You've already used it to take a picture. So set your timer, put it on. If you want to put on music, if something will motivate you to get moving faster, please do that. Put on a good playlist. I actually have a playlist on Spotify. I'll link to that in the show notes. So if you use Spotify and you want a motivating playlist, I actually have a Declutter and Organization playlist. So I'll put that in the show notes for you to check out if you need some music and inspiration. But for the next 15 minutes, this is it. This is what you're working on. You are working on going through each of the items in your space. So you are going to pick up each item and you're going to make a decision on it. Okay? That's what we're doing. That is what we're spending our 15 minutes on. So I have a few things that I want you to do when you're talking to each or about each item, right? You're picking it up and you're going to ask yourself, do I love this or do I use this?
Do you ever find yourself staring into your closet, feeling like you've got tons of clothes but nothing to wear? Well, I've discovered a fabulous solution that's perfect for us busy women: Armoire. Armoire offers high-quality, unique brands tailored just for you. All it takes is a quick 5-minute style quiz, and voila, you get a personalized closet from which to choose. The best part, these stylish outfits are delivered straight to your door in just a couple of days. I just returned from a podcast conference, and Armoire saved the day when it came down to what to wear. I wore these super cute wide leg jeans from Paige to the day portion of the conference, and that night I wore cropped wide leg vegan leather pants and an asymmetrical striped sweater. I got compliments all night and had people mentioning my outfit the next day. Then I was able to simply send it back for something new. No clutter, no fuss, no special laundry. And it's not just about looking good, it's about feeling good too. Armoire is all about sustainable fashion, so you can stay trendy without the waste. Plus, it's women-founded and led, supporting women designers and aligning perfectly with our values of empowerment and community. Right now, my listeners can give Armoire a try and get up to 50% off their first month. That's up to $125 off. Just visit armoire.style/wanna. That's armoire.style, ARMOIRE.style/wanna to get up to 50% off your first month and never worry about what to wear again. Try Armoire today.
Hey everyone, today I want to talk to you about something that's helping me show up as my best self, hormone harmony. For any woman navigating the ups and downs of hormonal change, whether you're in your 20s or past 40, this is something you'll want to hear about. I started taking hormone harmony because lately I've been feeling off balance, I was snacking more, feeling sluggish, and just not like myself. I was pretty flat. And that's when I found hormone harmony. It's been a game changer. It's not only for those of us that might be hitting perimenopause, but for any woman who feels like their hormones could be more in sync. Did you know a bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds? Yep, it's that popular. And it's not hard to see why. This wonderful supplement is packed with adaptogens. These are science-backed herbal extracts that help your body adapt to stress and minimize those annoying hormonal fluctuations. So whether it's hot flashes, night sweats, mood swings, or just feeling perpetually tired, Hormone Harmony addresses all of these symptoms gently and effectively. And for those navigating the tricky waters of perimenopause, it is nothing short of a lifesaver. The company behind Hormone Harmony, Happy Mammoth, is all about making women's health simpler and safer. Their products are sugar-free, gluten-free, dairy-free, non-GMO, and third-party tested to ensure the highest quality. And the best part, women are reporting they feel like themselves again. If you're ready to start feeling like yourself again, I've got great news. For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code WANNA at checkout. That's happymammoth.com with the code WANNA, WANNA, for 15% off your first order. Don't miss out on this incredible offer. That one's a pretty simple yes or no. Or does someone in your home love this or use this? Now, if you're not sure, this can be put off to the side for them to make a decision on later. You can have an extra box for their items. We're not tossing anyone else's things, right? But we could put them off to the side. We can have a separate area for them. We can put them together so that they can see all the stuff that is theirs. And that might be a good visual cue for them to say like, oh, maybe I should go through that stuff. Because again, we might be on a different area. Like we might be on a different path. We might be further down that path than our loved ones. So we're not forcing this on anybody, but we want to make sure that we're encouraging them to also look at their items and go through things. And I've done a whole podcast about getting our spouses on board and partners on board and things like that. We've talked about kids decluttering lots and lots. So I'll make sure I link to different episodes. That is not what this one is for. This one's the down and dirty 15-minute declutter. So let's get back to it. So at this point, once you've picked something up, you know if the item is garbage, right? And what are we doing with the garbage items? We are tossing them in the trash bag. If an item is to be donated, what are we doing with it? We're popping it in that box. Now, for items that you are keeping, I want you to ask yourself, does this belong here? So if it belongs in the space you are decluttering, go ahead, dust it off, and then put it away. Now, if you're decluttering a shelf and you want to put all the things onto the side so that you can dust the shelf when you are finished, going through everything, that is fine. But I like to try to put things away as quickly as possible so that if we get interrupted, it's not as big of a deal. So if you can kind of dust around things as you go and then put them back as quickly as possible. So if this thing though, let's get back to this item we're talking about and we ask, does it belong here? If it doesn't belong here, you're going to put it in that laundry basket and then you're going to put it away at the end of your session. So this is all we're doing. We're going to pick up each item. We're going to ask these questions. We're going to decide, does it go in 1, 2, 3 or back where it belongs? And if it, that's all, those are your 4 choices. You don't have any other choices. That is it. So keep going for 15 minutes. And then when the timer goes off, you're going to take the trash bag and you're going to either dump it in your, main garbage, or if it's full, you're going to go ahead and put it outside in the garbage can. You're going to take that box and you're going to put it in your car and you're going to mark on your calendar when you're going to drop it off at donation. And then you're going to take that laundry basket with you as you walk around your house and you're going to put away the things around your home. And then the final step, which is my favorite step, is taking an after picture. Because we need to celebrate these little wins. This is a big deal. You just made huge progress, something you hadn't been able to do before. And so I want you to make sure you take this moment to celebrate yourself and be proud of the work you did. And it's so easy for us to just dismiss what we've done, dismiss our progress, dismiss these wins. So we've got to take that after picture so you can see like, wow, I really did a lot in 15 minutes. And that makes it so much easier for you to do a second declutter session tomorrow for another 15 minutes. And can you see now how this really builds up over time? And just these quick little 15-minute sessions, and even if you don't have time for a full 15 minutes, 12 minutes, 10 minutes, 9 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes can make a difference in your life. And so I really want us to commit to this. And so that is why I am doing a 15-minute decluttering challenge. And I'm going to call it the 515. So I really hope that this has inspired you to get excited and want to do this in your own home. And in just a couple days, I'm going to start this on Tuesday, September 6th. And I'm going to check my calendar right now to make sure that that is in fact the right day. And so yes, Tuesday, September 6th. And we are going to, so it's right after Labor Day. A lot of the kids are going right back into school in the States, obviously. And so this is a great time for us to really start to get our homes back, take them back after the summer chaos and really get them in order. So every day, there's going to be 5 days in the challenge. So that's the first part of the 515. The 15 part, I hope, is a little self-explanatory after this podcast. We're doing 15 minutes of decluttering for 5 days. And then I'm going to go live in my Facebook group every day at 5:15 Pacific time to check in and see how it went, because we all need that accountability portion in our life. And so I want to be that accountability portion for you. And so I hope that you come and join me. We're going to run this through the Wannabe Minimalist family group on Facebook. It is the private group that I have on there. Come on over and join us. There's quite a few of us in there, and we would love to see you. Again, this is the 515 challenge, 5 days, 15 minutes of decluttering, a live session at 5:15 Pacific time every day for those 5 days from September 6th through September 11th. And I can't wait to see you in there. And I know that 15 minutes is going to make a huge difference in your life. I want to talk just a second about some of those negative beliefs that are going to come up, because I know they will. So let's talk about that just a minute. Okay, so some of these negative beliefs that will come up are going to be things like, you're going to hear yourself say, what if things don't go as planned? What if I'm not sure about something? What if I don't know where something belongs? Now, look, there are any number of things that can and will come up on your decluttering journey. This is just one point. So this is one part. This is one thing you're doing. And so we just have to understand that when we start anything new, our brain likes continuity. It likes habits. It likes things that are the same. So it's going to come up with really crazy, they could be normal, but they're probably going to be really outlandish things too. Like, what if I decide that I really needed that thing? Or what if, what if someone comes over and asks me about that thing that they gave me? Now, if it happens, it happens, but most likely 99.9% of the time, it is not going to happen. So you need to look out for you, and you need to look out for your happiness. And if decluttering, if your clutter is causing problems in your life, then you need to declutter. Okay. So the beauty of this method is that it doesn't matter if you get interrupted. Because I know a lot of you say like, well, what if this doesn't go as planned? What if my kids come in? What if what if I'm doing this during my baby's nap time and they wake up? No big deal. You can stop at any time because your items are contained in our 3 containers, right? They're either in the garbage bag, they're in the donation box, they're put away, or they are in that laundry basket. So you only have 3 things that you have to deal with instead of the piles, right? The old method was doing these piles and having them like, here's my keep pile, here's my put away, here's my declutter pile. Then if you have a little one that comes in, they're going through those piles and it is a mess. And now they're all kind of messed up. So the beauty of this is you have those 3 piles. You can stop anytime, you can deal with those 3, and then you can come back another day. Let's mention that second one. What if you're not sure about something? Well, if you're really not sure about something, then I recommend that you put it in a maybe box that you can revisit in a month. Once your space is clearer, has less clutter, it is so much easier for us to look at these things with a more objective eye and decide if this is something we want to keep. I also like looking at things from that positive perspective of, what do I want to have in my life? What do I want to keep in my life versus what do I want to get rid of, or what am I ready to let go of? So if we can look at it from that perspective, if it's something that we want to keep and it's going to bring value into our life, then keep it. And if it's just something we're holding on to because we're scared to let go of it, you're going to be okay if you let go of it, if it's something you really don't think you need. So go ahead. Now, if something you own doesn't have a home, this is a big one. I want you to spend a few minutes giving it one. Now, it doesn't have to be a permanent home, although I will caution you to try to make a sound judgment before you put something somewhere, because like I said, our brains are creatures of habit, and when we put something somewhere, we want to continue to put it there. So try to find a place where it belongs. Now, I want you to think about its purpose and its use. Where do you use this thing? What is it used for? And then put it where it will be most convenient when you are doing that task or when you will need it the most. If it's something you don't use very frequently, but you do use it maybe once a year, maybe it's your turkey roasting pan and you really value having the Thanksgiving dinner at your house or being able to cook a roast or something like that, and you need this pan, but you only use it a couple times a year, well, I want you to put it up on a high shelf. You're going to keep it in the kitchen because it's a cooking utensil or a cooking item, but you're going to put it out of the way. It's not going to take front and center space. It's not going to take the prime real estate in your kitchen cabinets. It's going to stay in your kitchen, but it's going to go up on a high shelf. That's a way you can think about all the different objects that you have in your house. If it's something that you need access to and you need to keep it because you use it, even if it's not very frequently, put it in the place where you will think to use it because it's somewhere where that purpose is happening. So maybe it goes in your office, or maybe it goes in, kind of a gathering space in the living room. It's a board game or something like that. And that's when you use board games, is when you're all gathered together as a family. So that's one way I love to think about giving something a home, is think about its purpose and then put it in that space so that you have access to it when you need it. And so that kind of wraps up those 15-minute declutter sessions, and I am super excited. So remember, if you're looking for some accountability, you want to do this with other people, please come over and join us. You can join the Wannabe Minimalist family group on Facebook, and we will be starting on Tuesday, September 6th. So it's just a few days after this airs, and it's going to be the 5-15 method. So 5 days, 15-minute decluttering sessions, and I will be going live at 5:15 p.m. Pacific time every day for those 5 days to help answer any questions, talk about what you've decluttered, how you're doing, just give you some motivation and support. And I would absolutely love to see you there. So if you have any questions, please go on over to that Facebook group, or you can get the show notes for today at wannabeclutterfree.com. And that's going to be /116, wannabeclutterfree.com/116. And that will get you the show notes and links to everything for this new challenge and for that group. And as always, I want to thank you for joining me today. If you made it this far, I would be thrilled if you would leave me a review on Apple Podcast. Your reviews make my day. They make it easier for me to know what is helpful for you, and they help other people discover the show and learn more about this kind of minimalist lifestyle for themselves. So head on over and leave me a rating and review if you can. And then with that, I hope you have an wonderful day, and I will see you back here next week when I will be chatting with Danielle Bettman. We are going to be talking about her journey toward minimalism, and she has such a fascinating story. You definitely do not want to miss it. So I will see you here next week. I'm Deanna Yates, and you've been listening to the Wannabe Minimalist Show. Cheers.
I'm Margaret.
And I'm Amy.
And together we host the podcast, What Fresh Hell? Laughing in the Face of Motherhood.
Margaret, I would say you're sort of a where are my keys kind of mom.
Correct. Sometimes a where are my kids kind of mom. Well, you're aiming more of a, we were supposed to leave 35 seconds ago, Mom.
I mean, touche. In each episode of What Fresh Hell, we come at a topic from our usually completely opposite perspectives. I bring the research.
And I bring kind of the gimlet eye. Like, is that research really going to work, people?
And almost 10 million downloads later, we're still laughing.
We also talk to experts in the parenting field, plus parents with stories we can all learn from.
We make each other laugh, we challenge each other's assumptions, and we have what we think is the best parenting community on the internet.
Check out What Fresh Hell, Laughing in the Face of Motherhood, wherever you listen to podcasts.